right? So here I have a value in the cell A1, and in this value I have mixed kind of data. So I have numbers, I have alphabets, a few symbols and operators. So now I want to get only numbers from this value. So for this, I'm going to write a really powerful formula, and this formula looks really complex, but it's as easy as any other simple formula in Excel. So I'll show you how you can do that, and I will also help you understand this formula in a very detailed manner. So let's start with writing this formula in parts. So first of all, I need to get the count of characters that I have in this cell. So I have total 17 characters. Now from here, I need to create a reference of range using the number of characters I have, using number of characters that I have in this cell. So for this, I'm going to use the indirect function, and here I will try to create a count of rows based on this count, the 17. So I'll use 1 colon, and then I'll refer to the count. So right now it doesn't show me anything. It doesn't show me any result in the cell. It just show me 0. But let me move this formula here so that you can see. So now I'm going to use the row function. So basically row function can take an entire array instead of a single value. So as soon as I apply and wrap this indirect function with the row function and hit enter, it returns a list of numbers. So basically it's an index from 1 to 17. So this index is basically derived from the count of characters that we have in the cell A1. Now what I will do next, I will extract each of these characters in different cells. So we have 17 characters, and I will extract each character in a different cell, in a sequence, but in a different cell. So for this, I'm going to use the mid function, and text is obviously in the A1. And then because we have this array of 17 index numbers, and then I'm going to use 1 because I want every single character in a separate cell. And now the moment I hit enter, you can see it returns each character in a different cell. Now the next thing is to separate text from numbers and any other kind of character or symbols, operators from numbers. So for this, we need to perform a simple calculation here. So what I'll do, I'll multiply each of these characters with 1. So basically you can only multiply a number with number. You cannot multiply any text with number, or you cannot multiply a symbol with number. So when you do that, it returns number only for the values where you have a number. So whenever and wherever you have a text, it returns an error. You can see that. Let me little zoom out to show you. All right. Now, the next thing is to remove these errors. So for this, I'm going to use if error function, and instead of showing the error, I will use a blank value. Now you can see that in this entire range of 17 cells, I only have values for numbers. The text is not there, the symbols are not there, any other thing is not there. Now the last thing is to combine all of these values in a single cell. So for this, I'm going to use a new function that is called text join. And for delimiter, I'm going to use a blank value because I don't want anything between the numbers. And obviously, I need to ignore empty cells because I have some empty cells here. So I will say true. And then I'm going to specify the range here. So here's a small tip for you. Recently, Excel has updated a new way to refer to ranges. So let's say if you want to specify a range up to the values you have. So instead of selecting the entire range, you can just specify the first cell of the range where you have the data, and then you can use a hash. So it will automatically refer to the last cell with the formula with the values. So it's a new option in the Excel. You might not have it, but as I'm using Office 365, so that is why I have access to all these new features. And now I'm going to specify the last cell of the ring, that is B1 to B17, because I have 17 values. And now the moment I hit enter, it returns all the characters which are numbers. So basically I have only numeric values in the cell. And last but not the least, I need to combine this in a single formula instead of, I will also put this into the formula. So here I have a single formula to extract numbers from a cell, ignoring any other value that I have there. I hope you found this formula super useful, and make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'll be coming out with a lot of cool, useful, and super amazing formulas in coming weeks.